on too many refugees in the country. It's creating too much trouble, I think. Yeah.
Can you tell us what kind of trouble you're referring to?
Yeah. First of all, it's when you have a lot of different cultures with that have a completely different worldview and completely different values, and you try to mix them in a country that has historically been very like one-sided and homogeneous. Is that the word? Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's not a good thing. You should limit it as much as possible.
There's the big debate over in the U.S. They're scared about all of these cultures with certain ideologies and belief systems. And there's a lot of terrifying things, especially in the media, about what's going on. It's hard to feel safe in particular about it, but I always hope that eventually it would just kind of evolve and people's cultures will kind of blend into a new
So you think the cultures could blend and become one different thing? But there is a lot of talk about that, how some people want to preserve their culture. They don't want to blend it with other things. They want to preserve their culture and what their values are. And it's not that they don't accept other people's. They want to have their own, and they don't want to mix that with other cultures, which is different from being a terrorist and not wanting anybody to be different and get rid of everyone who is different. Anybody else? Yes, go ahead, Christina.
Yeah, I can't remember the names of a lot of them, but I haven't really found anything I don't like. Had I don't know if this is a Norwegian food, but this pudding, I didn't like that so much. But it sounds pretty good.
How about the cheese, the brown cheese? Because that's one of like the big things when people come here. But a lot of people don't expect it to be sweet, and they're surprised when they taste it.
Yeah, I can see that. But it was good. I like it.
Helena?
I love the nature. I love just the outdoorsiness of everything. I like hiking. I've also lived in Montana for a little bit. It's similar in some way, living. But I love Norway. I love the people here, and it's a great place to live.
Edwin?
Huh?
Ask a question.
What question?
Anything.
How do you like the weather? I'm from where are you from? Well, I've been living in Northern California. A lot of my life, so it's cold in Northern California. So I don't think it doesn't bother me. I like snow, and like I said, I like the nature and like I like to find trails around here and hike them if I can. I want to do there's a pilgrimage that goes from Oslo to Trondheim, and I wanna hike that. I think that would be really nice.
Marta?
No, you just studied more school in California,
It does seem cool in California. Like if you go up north, there's trees and snow and water freezes. California's huge. Like up by you know where Oregon is? Oregon? Well, Oregon's more of like in the mountains and the forest. So Northern California's cool. But yeah, like it. I mean, this is kind of cold, but not that bad. I've been here in February, and it's a little bit, but I'm thinking it's not as cold as up north in Norway. So I'm thinking, okay.
Siri?
I was here last year. I took a 3-week Norwegian course. But then I didn't work. And then I went to Brazil after that. Being here for 3 months. Brazil, and now I'm back here.
Go ahead.
Simple thing.
No, she wants to hear it.
I don't know. I'm gonna suggest.
Introduce yourself, say how old you are, and where you come from. Say all of that in Norwegian.
Hallo alle sammen. Hyggelig på hilse på deg. Ja. Hyggelig på hilse på deg. Og hilse på deg.
Hva heter du?
Jeg heter AJ.
Hvor kommer du fra?
Jeg kommer fra USA. Ja.
Hvor gammel er du?
Jeg er
Did you forget the numbers again?
Jeg bare husker 29. Now jeg er med. Jeg har bursdag i desember. Så når jeg ikke vet hva the number of I don't know, hvordan
Hvor gammel jeg er. Ja. See, that's pretty good. He only took a course for 3 weeks. But yeah, so we've been talking about native peoples of the world, and AJ is part Native American. So I'd like you guys to ask him some questions about that. Say what you're thinking, Gunnar. Because I think I know.
Do you know, can you tell us a little about what kind of tribe or whatever you are descending from?
well,
Do you know what all about it?
It's Cherokee, so everyone is like there's a lot of people there.
Can you go write that over there? Can you write that down at the name of the? Yeah.
Okay.
I have like markers and stuff over there.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how to spell it.
But yeah, so because a lot of people have like a preconceived idea of what somebody who is of Native American descent looks like, for example. And in many cultures, you can look at someone in many ethnicities. You can look at someone and say where they're from. But now, like when the world is mixed to a point where you don't really know what ethnicity someone is.
I write like a serial killer.
They're used to my handwriting, so they can read anything.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, a lot of people are Cherokee, so if I say it to other people that are of other tribes, they just kind of laugh because everyone's Cherokee. But it's up in Oklahoma. My grandpa used to live on the reservation, and I don't know too much about it. I just know they're the first tribe that had to integrate with the people that were coming over and colonizing. And so they adopted Christianity first. And
Yeah, you said something that you said they were the first ones that had to
adopt.
To integrate.
Yeah, integrate, yeah.
Can you explain this a little bit to them? How you see this?
Well, I think the Cherokee people kind of understood there wasn't much they could do to fight what was going on. So they just kind of accepted what it was and adopted the religion that they had there, because a lot of the because they're wiping everyone out, especially with whatever they believed in and stuff. So they adopted the religion, they adopted the standards of.
That's something else that I think is interesting. Yeah. To wipe out. When you think of the verb to wipe, what do you think of first? What comes to mind? Say it.
No.
Is it bad and you can't say it?
Yes.
Okay, to wipe, you think of like to clean or to wipe the counters. Oh, I think I know what you're thinking. To wipe the counters. To wipe the counters, but to wipe out, to get everything completely out. So what he was saying that you're wiping out the culture, right? How so?
Just by killing people. They just dismantled their religious beliefs and their way of life, and implemented theirs. And there wasn't much to do, because they had certain advancements when it came to weapons and everything that they just didn't fight it. So.
Can you talk a little bit about the land? Because last class we were talking about that. We were debating about how the native peoples might have a claim to certain pieces of land in Norway, and I also gave some examples about New Zealand. Can you talk a little bit about how it is in the U.S.?
Yeah, well, because a lot of the tribes put up quite a fight, but eventually they made treaties, and they relocated a lot of the Indians and gave them a bit of their land. So now they, in certain areas like the Cherokee, there's called the Trail of Tears, where they had to forcibly remove them from like the area around Georgia and the Appalachian kind of area, and they all the way to Oklahoma, where my grandpa and stuff lived, and
Is that
even
what it's called?
that yeah. Yeah, so they till this day, everyone gets a certain amount of land, depending on the tribe and how much money they create within that tribe. They get so much land, so much money a month. Except, yeah, just because they were there, you know, they just came, invaded, and then at a certain point, it's like they couldn't get rid of everyone, so they just kind of put them in certain spots. And then as everything progressed with the specific issues that they would be given certain things out of like, oh, sorry.
And can you say something about how people feel about that in the state? What is the general consensus about that? Are there a lot of people who are against it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are against it. A lot of like, I don't know what the percentage would be against it or for it, but there's still a lot of animosity, and there's still a lot of prejudices against Native Americans. But now they just basically say like they're all just drink all day, get drunk and high, and they get free money. And that's what a lot of like conservative people say. And then a lot of people are like, what do you expect? You know, their whole culture was totally destroyed, so there's a void in a lot of these areas. And are you raising your hand?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
About how when Native people, for example, I think we talked a little bit about that last class. For example, the Native people of Norway, if they claim they were here first, should they be given parts of Norway where they can live for free because it's theirs, because they were there beforehand? And then I asked him about in the United States, the Native Americans, if they had the same rights to land because they were there first. What do you think? Do you think they should be allowed to live somewhere without paying for anything just because they were there first? You don't have an opinion about it yet? Yeah, Christer? Can you ask something?
No, I'm only a small amount. I didn't grow up on the reservation. I'm not affected by it because I didn't grow up around it. Just my grandpa. And, I'm not personally affected by it at this point. Not like people that live there. And everything. What do you guys think about the natives of Norway?
Go ahead.
Well, it's a little bit different story, I think. It was not like the Norwegians came from overseas and just wiped them out automatically. Not the same way. This might be a little bit of my opinion, a little bit subjective, but there has been like archaeological research and stuff that shows that the ethnic Norwegians, they are descending from the Germanic people, and they came from like they came from Denmark and Germany when they discovered Norway after the ice was melting, and then the Sami people they came from the east, Finland and Russia, and it's I think they apparently descend from India, and they came from the east. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what time it happened, but
You said something about how last class, something that you said about the differences between somebody who settled up north and natives. Oh, why do that keep happening? We're still in here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're talking about how there's a difference. Like if they were settled up north, then you think they kind of have a claim, but if you're south, then they don't. Can you explain that?
yeah, because there's like areas in northern Norway called mainly Finnmark, where like that's the place where most of the Same people live, and there's that's in Norway. Uh, they also have like areas in Sweden and Finland as well, and they used to have like they used to live in Russia as well, but during the Soviet area, they completely wiped out the Same culture. So they are not allowed to like have the culture and language in Russia after that happened. I think maybe that's changed now, but I'm not sure. Um, so we had like a small discussion in this class last week about like if the Same people had any claim to like take get control of the land that they were claiming to have inhabited first. And yeah, what should I say? You know, the lines are not very clear. It seems. Because it's not like the Same people like settle down in the whole of Norway first.
Hold on.
Can you explain what the resolution is?
What?
Can you explain what the resolution is?
Yeah, explain what a reservation is.
Yeah, it's just the land that they're moved to, and that they get a right to. Even though a lot of them didn't want to go to these places, and so it's just a reservation. It's almost like it's reserved for them, and yeah, they just have a claim to it, and they all have the right to have it without having to. They have their own government within the U.S., so they can actually have.
It's like a separate country
It's like a
almost.
separate country within the country. They can have their own military if they wanted to. They have their own politics and things like that. But it changes a lot from tribe to tribe. It's just their little piece of land that they can have. And that's basically all the reservation is. Yeah, and every tribe has more money than the other one because depending on what the infrastructure that they developed and the means of making money with casinos and stuff like that. We go to the Crow Indian Reservation, and it's one of the forest reservations because they sold most of their land back. After a while, they don't have any way really of making money. They don't really have casinos like a lot of other tribes have, or any other ways of making money, so they're super poor. There's a huge drug problem on the growers to Wyoming. Here. Just their land that they have. Reservation.
What? I think I know why, because all the questions that you wanted to ask, everyone else has already asked. Is that it? Anybody else? Maya? Okay, you guys, thank you so much, AJ. We're gonna have a break now for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and work a little bit on the book and on other things. Yes.
Jeg skulle ta kaffepause, men det var litt forskjellig. Var det kvart? Da må vi det er faktisk.